Hey everyone, this is Paulie, wormfarmingrevealed.com, and it's 2014 spring, and I'm ready to plant. And I figured, sometimes I get questions. It's like, Paulie, I know you use more than just worm castings. So, what do you use when you plant your seeds in your garden? And of course, we all know, hopefully, if you don't use 100% castings, because that's just like, well, drinking a Red Bull all day long. You don't want to do that, and your plants are just going to go, and then they're going to die. So, well, I'm not going to say they're going to die, but I mean, they're going to grow fast and spindly, and it's just too much nutrition, too concentrated. Pretty easy concept though, and I know everybody understands that. So what I'm going to do is try to make this a very fast 10-minute video. Hopefully I can do it quicker than that, but I have been planting for most of the day. I'm tired, so bear with me, but this is all for your benefit, and I think you're going to really like it. This is what I do every year, and I have great success in my garden. Just me and my family. We enjoy the fruits of our labor, and if you want, go to the website, check out the 2013 pics, and we ate really good last year, thanks to all the worm castings and the worm tea. So here's what I do. Now you can go to my website on how to use the worm castings. It's called it's the tab over on the left. It's called worm castings usage, and what I like to use is you can mix 25% worm castings with 25% other growth medium, and I like to use Coir. It's not necessary to use cocoa Coir. I'm going to drop it in this bucket of water here, and we'll be ready for it later. It's going to expand 5 times its width. So when I make this mix, I use the cocoa Coir, 1 part cocoa Coir with 1 part. This is, we call that hay litter. Just a bunch of hay that, come on in on this and look at this. You just put a bunch of hay out. You can use hay, you can use straw, you can use leaf litter. You just put it out and just let nature take its course. And you get these guys that come, indigenous earthworms. And that's just as good as your composting worms. I'm going to set this over here. That actually wasn't, I like to use 2 parts. Here's another big fat guy, earthworm. What's cool about these indigenous worms is that they live around your area, and they'll come to the leaf litter, to the hay litter, to the straw litter, grass, whatever, and then they'll come in, they'll consume it, they'll drop their castings, they'll drop their cocoons, and then they'll explode. They'll come back next year. They know where the food is, as long as you keep putting it in that spot. And along with this breaking down, and see, this is just covered in worms. With this just breaking down and turning into worm poop and other critter poop like insect poop, larvae, it's all good stuff. It's microbes for plants. If you can see this, you've got hay, grass-like stuff that goes in and out of the soil. Now all of this was hay. I haven't mixed any dirt in it whatsoever. All of this was hay. Now I like to use a lot of this because it gives food for the worms throughout the summer, and it eventually turns into castings for the plant. Also, it's very soft, and when the roots go in, they just travel all in and out. Those roots will go fast. They'll just go all throughout, and you're creating, and I'll show you out here, but I'll dig a big pit and I'll put this down in there, and then my seed will actually sit way up here. So in all of my growth medium, that root's going to be going down, and it's going to be going out, in all of the growth medium. And that's what you want. If you start out with something like that, you put your seed in it, then you got to come back every now and then and dig it up and throw your worm castings in there. So I like just to do it once and maybe doctor it up towards the end of the summer. But used in conjunction with the worm tea, I don't really think it's necessary. I say it on my website, but there's a lot of people just getting into this, into worm farming. But used in conjunction with the tea, you do it right the first time with your seed or your seedling, you're good to go for the rest of the year. So, all right, we've already got the hay litter in here. Now I'm going to use 1 part garden soil. I'm just increasing my volume, and this is very good loamy soil. Now we're ready to use 1 part Coir. It's a little wet, but that's all right. We're going to water it down good anyway. I'll probably add it last. Just because I want to get my other ingredients in there mixed in real good. Continue to sit it here. Okay. Now, another thing that I use is that my soil, I've got no rocks, I've got no minerals. So I have to induce that on my own. And what I have here is gypsum and lime. And I'm just going to put a couple handfuls in. You can't really overdo it on that stuff. It's just rock. And for those that don't know, the lime is great. It builds, well, it's minerals that we all need, but the plants really need it because it helps them build strong cell walls, which if you grow peppers, tomatoes, whatever, you notice that sometimes they can get end blossom rot, fruit bottom rot, stuff like that. But it's just great nutrition for it anyway. It's a secret, but not really a secret. Not a lot of people use this, but I do, just because I love diatomaceous earth. And it's just a handful there. And all it is silica with about 14 other trace minerals. So it's real great for the plants. All life needs silica. So when you can add it, do it. Now, the next thing I put in is kelp fertilizer. It's not needed, it's not necessary to grow great healthy plants, but anytime you can add a little nutrition here and there, it's just a nice little treat. I got 3 tablespoons of that in there. I'll go ahead and mix this around a little bit, and then I'm going to add my coconut coir. Look at them big fat juicy worms. Now I already have some of this pre-mixed, but I did want to show you this here, how to mix it. So, alright, this is the coconut coir. And why do I use that? Well, for the same reason I use the hay litter, because it's very absorbent. It'll absorb that moisture and just hold it in, and it doesn't compact. A lot of people use the perlite or other type of stuff that fluffs and aerates the soil, but I don't like to use anything if it's not going to break down and eventually become worm food or plant food. So if I can keep the perlite out or other stuff that just has no nutritional value whatsoever, I'll keep it out. All right, we'll mix this in real good, and then we'll take you over and show you the hole that I've already dug. And how long have I been recording?
10:20.
10:20. Well, we're gonna go over, but it's all right.
Is there a way that I can stop this?
Okay, here I have a pit, and I'm going to plant some zucchini in this. Some homegrown zucchini from last year. I've saved some seeds. Hang on right there, and I'll feed it. Okay. Here's pretty much how I do it. Let's look down in here. I've got a nice pit down about maybe 10 inches. You can dig it as deep as you want. Here's a nice big fella right here. He's gonna love all this food in there. And that is not quite enough, so I'll get the rest. Hopefully that's enough right there. Yeah, that's good. So we'll just spread it all around here. And these are the seeds that I saved from my prize zucchini last year. And you can see those in the photos too. It's got my hand on it. Big zucchini. I was like, I'm saving that. It's gonna have some great seeds in it. So we're going to put just a bunch in here, and then I'll thin it out later as they shoot up. Now you can see how it's all got this leaf litter in it, Coir. It's not compact, and you'll be hard pressed to compact it. I like that joke. Okay. Now, next what I'm going to do is, this is mulch. Why put the mulch on? Nice big grub. Because that is going to protect your microbes. This top part, if you can't get to it to dry it out, can you get it? You need to back up. That's fine. Just go ahead and back up. Get the hole. Damn it, here. If you can't get out here to water, some people like to water every day, every other day. I water maybe once a week. Sometimes I go longer because this may dry out up here, but if you move it and you put your finger down there, it's going to be nice and moist. You cannot let your microbes dry out. If they dry out, they will die. That is your plant food. So always keep it watered, and adding this on top, which also will still break down and turn into plant food, but it will break down very slowly, and it's pretty much just a barrier for the sun. It's a sun barrier. It keeps everything from dehydrating. So I'm done basically here, and now I'm just going to water it, and that's how I do it. So have success with it every year, and sometimes I try different things here and there, but I use it with my tomatoes, my kale, my peppers, my watermelon, cantaloupe. I like to grow just about everything. It's a little smaller this year, but I do what I can, and just follow these simple steps. A lot of times we all try to make things more complicated than what it is, and it just isn't. It's fun to play around and do different tests here and there, and this guy's doing this, yeah, he's successful, but I think I want to do it this way. Don't reinvent the wheel. Play with the wheel, and then later on do something different, but get it right the first time. It'll save you a whole year's worth of headache. So anyway, this is it. This is how I do it, and I hope you have a very successful 2014 garden season. This is Paulie for Worm Farming to Reveal.